Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episodes are Bad Hair Day and Meatloaf Surprise. So, Dragon, we have Candace experiencing a very, very bad hair day. Gets into a very hairy situation, if you will. So, how are you feeling on this one?
This is a pretty solid, pretty pretty tightly paced one. Candace, she gets into a hair raising situation, and we're seeing the logical folly of that.
Oh yeah,
there's a very kind of a vaguely we have a very Ace Ventura when nature calls kind of twist by the end.
You might need to explain now because I haven't seen Nature Calls.
Mm-hmm.
As you all know, I just only recently, as some of you may know on this channel, I've only recently just seen the original Ace Ventura, the first one. So it's like, and I have not even seen When Nature Calls. So
well, we'll get there.
Heck, I only just found the first episode of the animated Mask series, and I just started watching that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I know it's a completely different topic, but it's related to, never mind. So the episode begins with Candace with Stacy rushing to help Candace in the worst possible kind of emergency. A hair emergency.
Yep, Candace screwed up her hair trying to use the how-to videos online to let's just say it's not so simplicious as it looks.
Definitely not. It's
nope,
hard.
It's not as simplicious as advertised. Better put.
As Candace realized, it's hardlicious.
Yep.
So like somehow she got rolled up socks, chopsticks, among other things in her hair.
It's a travesty.
Yes, I don't know what kind of how-to video she was watching, but I can't imagine too many of them involve putting rolled up socks and chopsticks.
A poorly edited one. We saw it literally just like flips the hair, it's done. So Candace guesstimated all that other stuff and just she had no idea what she was doing.
She probably filled in a few steps here and there.
Just a few.
And somehow ended up with chopsticks and socks.
Well, we've established Candace not the brightest bulb in the Flynn Fletcher family.
I mean, she's not entirely stupid, but I mean, especially.
I don't know. I mean, she had rolled up socks and chopsticks in her hair. I don't know how that. We might have to reevaluate things with Candace a little.
She was in distress. I'll give that much to her.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm
Candace Flynn. She's. I don't know.
Like I still said. That was just her coming to a realization, not her realizing who she was, though.
I'm not so certain now with something like this. I'm not so certain.
All right. I mean, look at who her brothers are, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, by comparison, sure, but even so.
Yeah. So either way, like Stacy actually comes up with a good idea. Speaking of which, and tells her to ask her brothers for help. Which they do oblige after practicing their spit takes.
That was a good joke.
How are our spit takes? We've been practicing.
All right, so I love it's very telling that Phineas likes the hairstyle.
House, what do you mean telling?
I don't know. There's something clearly wrong with Phineas sometimes, and I like the hairstyle. And Ferb like actually being the sane one of the two, who just kind of says like, "Did you try flipping your hair?"
Yeah, Ferb spoke some sense.
See, Ferb's trying to problem solve there. Phineas is just like, "No, I love living in the chaos."
Yeah, like, what do you think that tells about him, though? Then
Well, that he's deranged, Jacob.
now you're trying to go on this whole Phineas is a sociopath kind of
I
angle.
I
Again.
don't know. There is some evidence.
It's like, really?
A little bit. I'm not being super serious with that, but I mean, for our recap purposes, yes.
Other than his awkward, sometimes awkward angles his face is positioned, what other situations can you think of?
You want me to list it all out?
All right. If you have a list, I'm not gonna do it.
I'm just saying, like, we cover a lot of episodes. You want me, like, we're getting the main one to go back to is the Parisian episode.
You mean Summer Belongs to You?
Well, yeah, Summer belongs. I'm saying when we're in Paris, but yeah, Summer belongs to you.
The whole thing with Isabella, then.
Yeah, so the whole thing with Isabella, that's kind of where he really came into focus. Like, yeah, there's something wrong with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, that's not the first time he's been completely oblivious to her.
I mean, oblivious, but then oblivious and then freeze frame. He just looks deranged in every freeze frame. And in the second episode we're covering, he looks deranged again. We'll get there.
All right, I can't wait to hear that one.
Anyway, so Stacy asked the most important question of the entire series.
Where's Perry?
Yep, it's her first time saying it, though.
Technically, it's her second.
Okay, fine. Just throw it all out the window, then. All right.
Remember, she did say it back and put that putter away.
Yeah.
She's like, focus. Hey, where's Perry?
There, that's it. Throw the banner.
It's like, all right, we better sit down, boys. Dragon has some words to say to you.
Also, by the way, is there anything we can do about the black at the bottom of the screen or no?
I don't have any black at the bottom of
the screen. Are you sure you're not seeing any black at the bottom of the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
All I'm seeing is the red banner.
Okay. Code Geass, let us know if there's any black at the bottom of the screen, just to satiate my own curiosity. Anywho. Yes, so Dan, Swampy, I just want to take a moment to apologize and say I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, but my associate here has pointed out a glaring continuity issue, and we should take a moment to discuss it. Because he wanted to point out, he's made an excellent point. I can't disagree with him because he's right. I suspected a little bit. He has the exact pinpoint for it of the exact episode which Stacy did say it. So he's got you dead to right, boys. I'm sorry you screwed up. Our the live action equivalent of Irving has struck again. He has pointed out, he has zeroed in on a flaw in the Phineas and Ferb continuity. In that Stacy has said this before. This is not a monumental event like you would have us believe. Stacy is a liar. My associate here has claimed that you two have made a liar out of the national treasure that is Kelly Who. Who? You know exactly who. Dan and Swampy. You know who you made a liar out of. Jacob knows. Jacob's got your number.
I wish I had their number because that means I'd be friends with them. All right, then.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said I wish I had their number, then that means I'd be their friend.
Sure.
It's just, literally, I wish I literally had, then that means I would know.
It's funny. Code Geass says there's nothing on the banner and literally disappears when he says that. So I just thought it's Michigan J. Frog of a crawl.
It's like, see, there's nothing under the banner.
Yeah, well, now it's because now there is nothing under the banner. Now I don't know if there was nothing under the banner from the start or if there's just nothing under the banner right now.
I don't think there's anything there in the first place.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know now.
All right. Should we just get back to the episode then?
Okay. Dan Swampy. I'm sorry, Jacob. You popped your balloon. I know it was a very nice and shiny balloon of just like we had a really nice Stacy joke. We were really proud of it, and then this this Irving kind of live action equivalent. He's just deflated all of our whimsy.
Dragon, the balloon popping happens in the next episode.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. There you go. Yeah.
All right, back to the episode at hand. Unless you have any words to the boys.
No, just again, my condolences for the guffaw and continuity. Jacob has magnified here, and we've dedicated so many hours to unpacking. We're gonna move on from there. Okay.
I'm sure they'll live, Dragon. I'm sure they'll live.
But will they live well?
Probably.
No, they're just gonna live reasonably.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be very modern, very, very comfy, but never well. Not again, Jacob. You took well away from them. You took the well and you threw it down a bigger well, and now it's gone.
And just tell them to go get Lassie then.
How dare you stereotype that dog? See, now it's back. Okay, so go get us. With the main crawl back. Tell us if the black bar is at the bottom. Anyway, keep going.
I don't see any black bar.
See, now I see it. It's back.
Okay, I'm going to switch back to the other banners.
Okay.
All right, here. I'll go to this.
See, it blinked and now it's back. Okay, again, apparently it's just me. Okay, we're just going to move on. I'll just accept that it's me. We're just going to move on.
All right, so after Candace secures the boys' help, they actually do manage to build a pretty neat looking hair machine.
Yeah. It's it's kind of it's very much like kind of like a hair dryer.
Yeah, like those things you see at the beauty salons.
With one key flaw though.
And what's that?
So they build this device that's designed to restore and kind of basically restore and maybe style hair. Like 30 minutes on setting number 5, pretty straightforward. Candace answers the phone in the device, which already seems like a bad idea. Like almost like answering basically putting tinfoil in the microwave, pretty much. But regardless, talks to Jeremy. Jeremy says he's on his way in 10 minutes, clearly 20 more than she has at this moment in time. So she decides to use the old Thanksgiving approach here, which is I'm going to turn it up 10 seconds on setting number 20.
Yes.
So 2 things. One, I concur with Candace on this one. Why on earth would they put 20 on there if it wasn't designed to be used?
Maybe they plan to use it for something else in the future.
Jacob, you know this show far better than I ever will, and you know as well as I do, they did not think that far ahead on this.
Yes, I know.
They just thought about this in the moment. They cobbled it together. They don't care. This is something like on the way to whatever they were gonna do.
Yeah, fair point. I know. I'm just saying.
The second thing is, I'm convinced. The part of me is convinced they swapped these numbers.
What do you mean they swapped the numbers?
It should have been 20 seconds on setting number 10. I would say that makes a lot more sense. If you look at that thing, it's like, okay, there's not. It doesn't really look like there's the way those dials work. It should. You have to dial it twice to go all the way down versus just like one dial, like from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 on one dial. It's like, no, we have to turn all the way that to like number 10 and the other one going all the way to another 10. So it's going to be 20 in total. It's like ridiculous.
Well, the important thing is it works.
No, it doesn't work.
Well, I mean, it would have worked if Candace hadn't turned it up.
Well, you're right about that. It would have. But again, they didn't need to go up to 20. Why on earth do they need to go up to 20?
Because they always go 1. Because they always go 9 steps beyond, Drag. Remember, have you ever seen This Is Spinal Tap?
Well, of course I've seen This Is Spinal Tap, but that's 1. That's like 11. This is 20.
Well, instead of going up to 11, they went up to 20.
I'm saying it should be 11.
but this one goes up to 20.
Anyway.
It's like, 11 is 1 higher than 10. 20 is 10 higher than 10. It's basic math, Dragon.
Thank you for the enlightening point, Jacob.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's talk about the very, very bad-inator.
Well, yeah, so let's first figure out what Carl did to discover its existence.
Yes, so Carl camped out in Doofenshmirtz's basement under the water heater, and all sorts of horrific things happened to Carl.
Apparently, he saw a rat give birth to a snail.
Yep.
Which doesn't even make biological sense, but...
And he's concerned. Well, I'm sorry. Are you, are you a zoologist, my friend?
No.
Then how do you know?
Basic understanding of reproduction.
On humans.
And fairly certain that rats give birth to other rats.
Emphasis on fairly certain.
All right, fine.
There you go. I mean, heck, I've seen, we've seen humans give birth to slugs, man. Admittedly, it takes about 30 years for them to become slugs, but still.
Where have we seen that?
No, I mean the idea of giving birth to a degenerate who's kind of like a slug in life, like a sluggish kind of,
Yeah, like in Harry Potter we've seen someone throw up slugs.
Also, Stranger Things.
That happened in Stranger Things too.
You never watched Stranger Things, did you?
I've watched pretty much the majority of Stranger Things. I just don't remember that.
Really? That was like a very big plot point, Jacob. You don't remember that at all. It's like season 1 ended.
That one's losing it. I don't remember the slugs specifically, but
yeah, like Will, he throws up like the slug. That was like he's connected to the other side, the upside down.
Oh yeah. But remember, Dragon, I've done several podcasts with you guys about it.
It doesn't seem like it.
Just because I don't remember one plot detail doesn't mean
That's not just one plot detail. That was like the way the season ended.
That was like how many years ago?
But yes, it was many years ago. But the fact is, after the end of each of these, it takes so long to make. Everyone remembers all these details of how the seasons ended.
I don't remember the slugs.
All right.
It's like I still remember Bob dying, which is a tragedy, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So see, we discussed like the finale of the mall and all that. I've seen pretty much all of Stranger Things, Dragon. Just because I haven't seen, just because I don't remember the one detail about the slugs, doesn't mean I haven't seen it.
Anyway, so
I even remember D'Artagnan. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Dart the demo dog.
Yeah.
And how he actually saved the group.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on.
It's also Carl is wigged out by the brown cardboard spiders that he is convinced laid eggs in his ears, which is not helped by Monogram, prodding him.
Monogram doesn't respect his trauma.
Not in the slightest. Honestly, I think it amused him because he did that just for the laugh.
Monogram doesn't really laugh, but yeah. He just did it more because Carl was annoying him and wanted him to go away.
Monogram laughs.
I mean, he didn't laugh this time, though.
Well, yeah, not this time.
He did it yeah. So Doof ended up inventing the very, very bad-inator.
I love the why not logic of this plot so much. I just love the idea of just Doofenshmirtz. Like, he's tried everything. He's got some spare parts. Like, just to figure out, I just take the most evil parts of all the past inators that blew up and count them together and see what it does. I mean, it's got to be bad, right? Very, very bad.
Oh yeah, that's the name. And we get to do good. Doof isn't too bad at playing the organ either.
Oh, it's great. He's wonderful playing the organ.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the very, very bad-inator is an interesting concept. We unfortunately never get to see what it does.
Really? It never comes back?
Dragon, are you going to expect a different answer by this point?
Occasionally?
Fair point, but no, it doesn't.
Well, sometimes things have come back, haven't they?
I know, but a lot of things but every time you ask that question, most of the time the answer is no. Should I say something? Do you want to say a word to the boys?
No.
Okay, letting them slide this time.
I'm tempted, but you already hurt their feelings, so we're just gonna move on.
All right.
Yep, you crushed all their hopes and dreams. All their wells are gone, so you know.
What a baby.
Except Dan and Swampy is like at the gravesite, just crying their eyes out. They insulted our honor. Oh God, we were gonna do so much. We put so much heart and soul into this. Dan, do the voice. Dan, please do the voice. Just Swampy's just freaking out, and then like walking in the background's Jacob. You know, like especially looking a lot like Irving, just walking in the background with the flowers.
You realize Dan and Swampy's hopes and dreams.
What babies.
Yep. Buried right next to Smitty Werben Jägerman Jensen.
Yep. Who was number one?
Exactly.
He was number one.
Oh God.
Anyway, so we have the Save the Animals benefit.
Yeah, the entire situation, and that basically that's the reason why Candace is getting ready, because you're hosting a special thing for the tangerine orangutan.
Now, in hindsight, Candace, she really could have taken 30 minutes. Like, you know, she's in a relationship with Jeremy at this point. You know, she has the power here. She could always just say, like, you know, women are never ready when you want to go out. You know, when you want to go out anywhere. So it's very believable that in a relationship, it's like, oh, I'll be out in a few minutes, and just let you 20 minutes later. So she could have stalled that. And what's Jeremy gonna do? Go without her? This is a very pointless episode in retrospect.
Well, she wanted to be respectful of his time. Dragon, she wanted to break the stereotype.
All right.
Would you just seemingly trying to insert into the episode?
Yes, I have. I mean, stereotype or no, it's a viable excuse she could have used in that moment.
It's like I'm working on, or she could have worn a hat.
Better idea. She's got to have hats, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so they're at the Save the Animals benefit. We have like the Pithecus gag, which is really funny.
I love that gag. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those ones that you only you have to know what Pithecus means in order to get the joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I bet I have more animals named after me than you do. No. It's like, want to bet? No. Why not? Because your last name is Pithecus.
It's very funny.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
All right, so Candace has a mustache.
Yep, like he borrows a spoon to check it out.
Yep.
Things start to get very hairy for Candace.
She's in a panic, and basically, I'm sure the stress is not helping.
No, definitely not.
She ends up covered in hair.
And her ringtone, which has been changed to the tangerine orangutan.
By the way, what do you think? Should she have been wearing the dress?
I mean, as opposed to what?
Well, I mean, as opposed to how she looks right now.
Well, I think the dress is under the hair.
Well, well, we know that it is. I mean, clearly. I'm just saying that it's like, logically, it's always that thing of like, I was watching Wolverine the X-Men a while back. And they did like the Wendigo episode, and they had like basically they did an homage to Hulk versus Wolverine, in which they fought the Wendigo, and basically had a bunch of people who turned into kind of like were Wendigos. Essentially, they got infected, so they also turned into other Wendigos. You had men and
let's see X-Men '97 do that.
Yeah. So we had, they had, men and women, like basically shield agents turning into Wendigos, and very judiciously, they're, we see they're fully clothed and everything, and like there's not even really not even like a rip in the clothes. It's just like they're clothed, and like the idea is like all the fur when they turn like these giant white furry Wendigos like just grew over the clothes, which you have to wonder like. Not even really possible. It's gonna be a lot of hair. I guess that's
It's classic cartoon logic.
that's what I'm saying. It's cartoon law. I was saying, I just wanted to call it out there. Like it should just be like an orangutan in a dress. But yeah, it's just, we went the full fur person.
Which, to be fair, makes the switch at the end more believable.
It does, and that's probably why they went with that. But I'm sure it might have been an awkward conversation in the room at some point. It's like, well, I guess we're just gonna say it grew over her clothes because otherwise we can't match it with Doofenshmirtz later. It's like, okay.
Unless somehow, for some reason, Doofenshmirtz had the same matching dress.
Yep.
Which they would have to explain, and that would take away from the very, very bad-inator, and it would have made too much. It wouldn't have made much sense.
You're gonna have like Carl walk into the room, or whoever the writer's equivalent to Carl is, saying, "But one people think they're naked," and then just like someone's like the Swampy says, "Shut up, Carl," or "Get out of here, Carl."
Like,
you're a sick man, Carl.
They're actually very nice. Dan and Swampy are actually very nice people.
I would like to think so.
Yeah. I would really like to meet them.
Who do you think the bad cop is in that dynamic?
Honestly, I have no idea.
All right.
Probably Dan.
Really? Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
I'm more familiar with him than I am Swampy. So based on what and that's bad loosely. Like if we're talking about like good cop, slightly worse cop, then it'd be probably then Dan would be that one.
Okay. So,
but to me though, they'd both be good cop. They'd be good cop and good cop.
All right, way to suck up, Jacob. That's good. That's good. So,
all right.
Okay. Anyway, so we have the orangutan, Candace.
Yeah, you get spotted, and everyone thinks that tangerine orangutan's gotten loose.
We have this great gag where her cell phone has like the ape noise.
Yeah, and it makes everyone think. Doesn't really help the situation.
Nope. We have this adorable Linda bit. I love this Linda bit so much, where she calls the boys for help.
And Candace calls the boys for help. It's like we need help with Candace. We need help Candace with her hair. It's like, you're a hairstylist? Apparently. And then she's like, what would you do with my hair? It's like, nothing. It's perfect the way it is.
Really are you're a good hairstylist. Girlfriend, please.
Please.
So just oh my god, it was so darn charming. Just like, what, I say a lot of slanderous things about Phineas from Fletcher at times. I admit that. I'm not saying it's unwarranted, but at times I do. That's a moment right there. A lot of charm. Like, yes, right thing to say, but a little less Phineas, more Linda in that moment, but still.
Girlfriend, please.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing to say to his mom, but even regarding her hair, but it's just a fun thing to say, I guess.
Yep.
Like, girl.
I'm all for complimenting Linda. I'm down for that.
Yep.
All right, so. Okay, let's see. So animal controls arrived, and basically the boys show up with the sonic oscillator.
But the thing is, the animal control isn't very good. Guy isn't very good at his job.
This is where we get to the Ace Ventura thing.
All right, lay it on me.
All right, so in Ace Ventura 2, when nature calls, there's a very famous joke of Ace Ventura getting hit with the tranquilizer dart, and just Jim Carrey playing it up in a really funny way, where like he gets hit by a bunch of darts in succession, so it's like slowing him down, and you get them all like, it's like, oh come on, he's getting all slower as he's going on, like, I'm on my way, as he's like, eventually passes out, but he gets more and more drugged up, and it's just in slow mo, which Jim Carrey does really well.
Now, did you say you like that one better than the first one?
I don't know if I said that. I think the first one's better, but 2 has a lot of great standout jokes in it. Like, I think the plot, has a better plot.
All right, fair enough.
Dude, 1's got a better plot. 2, I think, has great standalone gags,
including the infamous rhino scene or hippo scene.
Yeah, no, it's Rhino.
Oh, it is rhino, right?
It is Rhino. I'm just a curious little rhino. It is. Look, it's funny, but I don't know if I don't think it's as funny as some of the other stuff they have.
I know, but that's the one that most people talk about.
My favorite joke is when Ace Ventura does the summation. I think that's the best. One of the best. It's a callback to the first movie. I think it's one of the best jokes where he summarizes the bad. Does like the detective's summary of just how the bad guy got away with it and everything. It's just that is great.
Yeah, might need to find that one.
Also, when he says "Uju, bouju, wuju," it's pretty funny.
So yeah, as you might have surmised by Dragon's reference, like the animal control somehow manages to shoot a tranquilizer dart into his own butt.
Yep. So chances are they're referencing Ace Ventura with that. Chances are.
Did Ace actually shoot into his own butt?
Well, no, not into his own, but just the idea of like Ace getting shot, and he got initially shot in the butt, and then that's when he started to be tranquilized.
And apparently, we learned that Mrs. Johnson is pretty good with a sniper.
Well, she did read the instructions.
Yes, but even reading the instructions doesn't mean you're good with a sniper tranquilizer gun.
Well, she is also voiced by Lieutenant Calhoun. So,
I think this is. What year did Wreck-It Ralph come out? 2012.
Yes. Wait, no. 11.
2011.
Wait, darn it! Now I'm starting to question. It's 11. I'm pretty sure it's 11. Final answer 11.
Wreck-It Ralph. 2012.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, 2012.
What was 2011 then?
I think that was Winnie the Pooh.
You're right. Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, that's what it was.
No,
it's Winnie the Pooh was.
And when the movie that nobody saw, basically nobody saw in theaters.
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
But yeah, then
so Tangled was 2010, then Winnie the Pooh 2011, then Wreck-It Ralph. So okay.
I mean, and this episode came out in 2011, so this came out before Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
So there you go. So what do you think of the revelation that the disc thrower actually has legitimate disc throwing action?
I mean, it's ridiculous, but I do love the joke.
Yep. Ancient statue has it is a Greek statue, right?
Yes.
All right. Ancient Greek statue has actual disc throwing action. It's pretty cool. Yep. And so they fire the oscillator, which somehow keeps the rest of Candace's regular hair onto her head, which is convenient.
Yep.
And what exactly happens to the excess hair?
Well, Doofenshmirtz was getting cocky while he had Perry trapped, and he was about to use the very, very...
On the skiff.
Yep, on the skiff. A little Star Wars nod, I'm sure.
Well, we've seen the skiff before, but probably.
I mean, the other times could have been Star Wars references too, Jacob.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a bit of all right, go on.
Okay, the point being, Doofenshmirtz is about to make himself a little sandwich with peanut butter and honey, and all the honey got spilled onto him. So honey, orange, all the orange hair leads to an orangu doof.
It's like, what do you think of peanut butter and honey as a sandwich?
I never really considered putting them together, but I mean, I guess that would be tantalizing, right?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, honey doesn't spoil, so honey's like the only food that doesn't spoil. So you can theoretically
that does explain why Winnie the Pooh hides it everywhere.
Yeah, and so you could theoretically just find it years later, and it would be perfectly safe to eat. You could eat honey that was That was made in ancient Egypt.
So it wouldn't get all crusty. Like it's just going to stay like that.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Don't ask me how it's like that, but it just somehow is.
All right.
But yeah, Doofenshmirtz gets tranked. Ends up
In
getting
the
tranked by Hawkeye Johnson.
Yep.
Candace in going to hug her brothers, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Actually manages to catch the orangutan Doof.
Yep.
Mom, I'm pretty.
So then, of course, by the way, Doofenshmirtz like, what does the inator do?
Like we never find out what it does.
Yeah, what do you think it did?
Something very, very bad.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think it did?
Well, I agree, something very, very bad.
Well, there you go. Like, so, what exactly happens to Doof at this point?
Well, Doofenshmirtz, this felt like a meta gag. This felt like, okay, we had to work in a mandated song, so we have Doofenshmirtz singing how he's got a dart in his butt, and he's going to lose consciousness in 17 seconds.
Which, if you time it, is actually correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From that point forward, he loses consciousness 17 seconds after he says that.
So it's very shoehorned in.
But it's funny though.
Yeah.
It's like I'm shot in the.
Yep. Collapses.
And all the animals are just like staring at him on the ground, just like.
Let's take his hat.
And Kane.
Yeah.
Doofenshmirtz has a thing for the Broadway vaudeville tunes. Even when he's about to pass out. Alright, so that brings us to Meatloaf Surprise. So, what do you think of this one?
This one I love the Meatloaf Fair. I really do.
Yeah.
The I don't know, our balloon thing again. It seemed a little thin plot wise, but it was okay.
Yeah.
I think it was weird we did not have Isabella this episode.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have her in any episode, either of these episodes.
I think the writers are trying to say something.
So, yeah, they couldn't find a way to include her in this one.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Or we didn't want to pay the actress.
No, they just didn't include her in this one. She's in plenty more.
All right.
But I think that is one of the reasons why they didn't bring her back as Jenny. I think that was one of the reasons why, because they'd have to pay her more for Jenny. So I think that's why she doesn't appear anytime past season 2, really.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. But speaking of voice actors, we actually have a lot of British talent in this episode. We have Jamie Oliver as himself. And we have Davy Jones and Peter Noon as Tiny Cowboy. What'd you make of that one?
Well, it was nice to see, Tiny Cowboy kind of explored a bit because we've hyped up the name.
Yep, Davy Jones of the Monkees and Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, the song in this episode is more inspired by Oasis than anything that they ever did. So, all right. So, getting into the episode, as it turns out, Linda was last year's Meatloaf Queen.
I love this.
Yep. So apparently, she gets to judge other people's meatloaf.
Oh, a meatloaf appreciation is such a mom thing.
It's like, do you like meatloaf?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Have you ever had? Well, you never had good meatloaf. You never had the right meatloaf, then.
True.
According to this episode, anyway.
Hmm.
But I've actually had meatloaf, and I've actually had pretty good meatloaf.
I can appreciate the shape of meatloaf.
Because it's shaped like bread.
Yes, it's awesome.
Like, question is, how much do you like bread?
Not particularly.
Oh, you don't eat a lot of bread,
No.
but you like the shape. But you like the shape. You like the shape of bread.
Love the shape of. I appreciate bread, Jacob. I don't eat the bread. I've had toast. Honestly, I'm open to toast. Just the bread. Bread's a deal breaker. I like the bread. I like the concept of the bread. I love the shape of the bread. I love the smell of bread's okay. Just but I'll do the toast. I won't do the bread.
Okay. All right. I can live with that.
I mean, I don't really do the toast. I'm just saying historically, I don't really do bread. I'll do toast. I don't like the bread.
But toast is bread.
I know toast is bread, but I don't like the softness of the bread. I like the toasty quality of the bread. I like it all crunchy.
All right, that's fair. Now I love bread. Like, give me a nice loaf of bread and butter it up. I'm good.
Mm.
It's like so you like bread. So you like the looks of bread and meat that's shaped like bread.
Yes.
All right.
Also, the best kind of bread, canned bread.
Best thing since sliced.
Yeah, which is a real thing, by the way.
Canned bread.
From what I understand, yeah, as a Canadian, it is popular in Canada.
I have to check this out.
Look, I don't know how popular it is, but it is in Canada. There's canned bread's like a thing in Canada.
Holy moly, you're right.
Yep.
Canned bread.
Of course, very appropriately in Canada.
It's like I'm gonna.
It's a no-brainer. It's like Canada.
It's like I'm gonna say a quote from a very famous cartoon character that was created by a Canadian. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Canadians are weird.
Yep, that's fitting. Which, by the way, again, a moment of silence. Max strikes again.
And then Eddie's leaving Max.
Well, at least the season of it is, but there's writing on the wall. Like they're getting rid of each season progressively, and it's just ridiculous. Like Powerpuff Girls season 1, I have to assume that's the last one that's left. Ed and Eddie's losing like season 4. It probably already lost 5, so they're sanding it down.
Why?
And there is no good why, Jacob. They're just getting rid of all the stuff. They're getting like all the shows. They're gone. They're Kaputsky. Foster's also going. I don't know which season, or maybe it's all of it. Just they're all going.
That's a shame.
Yes.
And right after I resubscribed too.
I remember someone like put up this thing, like the poster, like they announced like, hey, look at all the Cartoon Network shows that Max has. And then someone put up a thing where it's like, hey, we've X'd out all the shows that are now gone, leaving only like Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and the Gumball, maybe.
Well, I mean, those are 2 good shows, though.
No, they're good shows, but all the other ones.
I know. I'm not excusing.
Formerly there, now gone.
I'm not excusing the behavior, Dragon.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Most crushing of which, Codename Kids Next Door.
Oh, that's good. That's leaving too.
At least that's been gone, man. Wake up!
I was like, I haven't been browsing.
We went over this. It's been gone. They got rid of it. The purge. They got rid of it.
It's like the cartoons are getting DVD releases are recently shown on TV. It's not the same.
Still, that's like some of these shows, yes, DVD releases. Some, Codename Kids Next Door, not so lucky.
I'm just glad I actually have it on iTunes.
Yeah.
I have Kids Next Door on iTunes, so I can still watch them whenever I want. It doesn't change the fact that it's weird that the way Max is treating these things.
Yeah.
Is it because of like a server space or what?
I mean, that's probably what they would say officially. Like, they need the space, or it's like a streaming contract thing, but it's like, you're Warner Brothers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless Warner Brothers like saying we want to back out of this thing, it makes no sense.
It's like, it's weird. But we shouldn't bog down this unrelated podcast with all of our grievances with Warner Brothers.
All right.
Don't get me wrong, we have plenty of grievances with Warner Brothers.
Down with the Warner Brothers and the Sister Dot. Down with the Warner Brothers and the Sister Dot.
Those Warner siblings, those Warner Brothers and sister are fine.
I know.
Except the Hulu stuff, which is just okay.
Yep, string Zaslav up.
If only that show was being made when he was in charge, they would have done a lot more with that.
Hang him by his thumbs.
Can you only imagine what the show would have been like under his tenure? They would have like ripped him to shreds.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Anyway, so.
Okay, so let's see. So we have the Meatloaf Festival. Linda is the queen because she won last year. She's living the dream.
Yeah.
Buford has destroyed a bounce house.
Yeah, he was bouncing inside of it and ran away from a bunch of angry kids.
Yep.
And for some reason grabbed Baljeet.
No, I love that. Again, I was like, that's his carry-on. I has to bring Baljeet with them. I do love that, though. It's like, come on, we gotta go.
It's
seemingly, he regrets destroying it. Seemingly.
And Buford wants to make a bounce house for the kids. It's like, Buford's right. I am?
Well, he didn't say for the kids. He just said he wants a bounce. He regrets the bounce house being destroyed.
Yeah, I know. But and then Phineas is like, Buford's right. He's like, I am?
The bounce house needs to be made. We need a bounce house for bigger kids. Hey, slightly bigger kids.
You gotta admit, the bounce house is pretty cool.
Well, of course it's really cool. I love the fact that like they make it is already impressive, and then nope, one more pump, giant.
Like I would love a bounce house for that. We need bounce houses for adults, essentially.
That's true. That we do. Also, during this moment, we have the creepy Phineas shot.
You mean his speech?
Yes.
What's so creepy about his speech?
Okay. Follow me on this, Jacob. Okay, they turn the fan on. And the way that fan is blowing Phineas's face.
Yeah, it's just blowing his hair.
No, it's not. Look at his face.
Yeah, it just looks like it's just his usual triangular self.
Okay, you're not like his like the face with the expression, like the G-force kind of effect on his face. Like it's being blown up, and he's like, I don't know. He has like if you freeze framed on that, it would have looked like, oh god, it's like there's something behind the smile, sort of thing. It's like.
Like Dragon, do you remember how he looked when he was doing the G-force training in the first episode when they went to space?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say that was worse than what you saw here?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm saying it's like if you look at it, there's like it's like almost it's like an uncanny sort of thing. It's the visage. Like, okay, this is Phineas giving a speech with that fan blowing on him, though, like moving his face the way it is. It's like the eyes are a little narrower and higher, and I don't know, the extended teeth. It's like something's a little off there.
All right.
I'm saying if you freeze frame that, you would see, yeah, there's something a little unsettling about that.
I still don't see it, but oh well.
All right.
Like I'd say the G-forces then out to launch was more unsettling than that.
Okay.
But the most important thing is he wonders where Perry is.
Where's Perry?
No, seriously, where is he? I haven't seen him.
So Doofenshmirtz
is buying groceries.
He's buying groceries, maybe for a hot date. No, God, no, he would never. No.
That's giving him too little credit, to be honest.
Doofenshmirtz never finds somebody, does he?
Not in the length of this series, no. But maybe he will in the revival. You okay there? You okay there, Dragon?
Yeah.
You just went silent for a bit, like you felt bad. Did you feel bad for Doof?
Nope.
You're like, he doesn't deserve it. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
All right.
No, he deserves to find someone.
Yeah, he does. Remember, he almost did find someone, but then he ruined it. Remember the anti-love satellite, which was very, very sad.
Yes.
All right, so speaking of which, Doofenshmirtz is just buying recipes for the meat, buying ingredients for his meat for the family meatloaf recipe. So we actually learned a bit of Doofenshmirtz family history here. So Gretel Doofenshmirtz passed it on to his grandfather Jose Doofenshmirtz. What did you think of Jose Doofenshmirtz?
I love the idea of Jose Doofenshmirtz. I love everything about this. Love the idea. Like, yeah, we don't want to know. We don't want to talk about that guy.
It's like there's a weird story there.
Yep. So anyway, he stole the family recipe from his brother because his mother he was the favorite of his mother.
Yep, his goody two shoes brother, the favorite of his mother.
Yep.
Like,
Anyway, so we found out the secret ingredient in the meat in the meatloaf.
It's hate.
It's hate.
Usually it's love, but Grandma Gretel had issues.
Yep. Anyway, so Doofenshmirtz says that. I love that he's trying to take an honest go at the competition here. I'm going to make my meatloaf really is the best. I have the secret recipe and everything. But just to hedge my bets, I have the Recap-inator.
You have to make everyone else's meatloaf rotten by comparison.
Yep, so there are actually stakes here. He's going to poison Linda.
Yeah, you kind of, based on the end of the episode, yeah, I'd would have poisoned.
Yeah, so that's kind of dangerous. Linda was in peril and she didn't even know it.
Well, if she would have eaten the meatloaf.
Well,
because remember, she did see Doof's eventual rotted meatloaf and decided not to eat it.
Yep.
So, I think she was.
Candace.
So Candace is going into to an auction to win some tiny cowboy memorabilia.
Bobblehead, a tiny cowboy bobblehead to go with her collection.
And along with Stacy.
Yep, and Candace just can't help herself. She sees the boys doing something,
and she's
has to leave.
And she's like, I'm going to forgo my whole agonizing over I'm going to do it and just give you my $70 and have you just do the auction for me.
Yep.
Which, character growth.
Yeah.
Only if it lasts, I believe, this episode.
Yeah, she's delegating.
Yep. And apparently a lady that brought opera glasses to an auction.
This is an auction?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Nope.
So.
There's Buford. Buford defies the laws of physics yet again.
It's like he jumps down the rope that's hanging from the bottom of the bounce house, the floating bounce house, and somehow drags it down with him. It's like, how is that possible? He doesn't weigh any more down there than he did up here.
Dude, Baljeet's actually asking the smart questions now.
But Ferb's like, best not to question.
Yeah. All right, so Buford's got something to do.
Dang, did I say or did I not say before that Buford is an anomaly?
Yes.
I did, didn't
Yes,
I?
you did.
Yes, I did. He's an anomaly. So Buford can remember he's the guy who's also heavier on the moon.
Yeah.
So the laws of physics don't follow Buford. And yes, I said it that way intentionally. So it's like, so we seemingly see Buford do something nice. But what did you think? And also, wait, what did you think of the whole Woodland Pixie callback?
It's okay.
It's like, you're never gonna let me live that one down, are you? Can we float around like a little woodland pixie? Or I want to float around like men.
Men.
Yeah, so we see him gift the bounce house to the kids. Do something nice.
Immediately pops it.
Yep.
Just love that again. Well, we have to make it disappear somehow, so he's just popped it. And all this is just to torture him again. He runs away, grabs Baljeet yet again.
Get him!
Get him!
all Toy Story or Mr. Potato Head on their
Throw him overboard!
Great, now I have guilt! Except Buford's the only one having guilt here.
Yep.
because the kids make him fix the bouncy house again.
Yep.
So the bounce house is gone. Doofenshmirtz accidentally rots his own meatloaf and eats it, which was not a smart move. And even gets taken by an ambulance.
Now I'm pretty sure is a direct reference to SpongeBob.
What do you mean?
Come on, man, you remember this?
Like, I'm just wondering, what exactly do you think the reference to SpongeBob is?
Okay, the Born Again Crabs episode where there's like the rotten Krabby Patty, the rancid Krabby Patty, and Mr. Krabs refuses to throw it out and wants him to sell it. And no one's buying it. And he says, he insists like it's fine. He takes a bite of it, and then first of all, he almost takes a bite, and there's look, an ambulance. Then he takes a bite of it. Then he's like, wrap up that patty. I'm not finished with it. So it's the idea of like eating the thing, going to the hospital, like we suggest here. I'm wondering if Bob might have worked on that.
So what's the name of the episode again?
Born Again Crabs.
Born Again Crabs. I don't think that is one of his episodes. Born Again Crabs.
Regardless, it's very similar.
No, didn't work on that one.
It's very similar. So, Jacob, do you know what time it is?
Dragon, I think I do. It's Grady Reboot time! All right. We need to work on our synchronization.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyway, so Doofenshmirtz doesn't make it.
He dies of food poisoning.
Yes, a very horrific death. That's the thing. He took a bite of the meatloaf just to make a point, and it killed him. He went to the hospital. They couldn't pump his stomach in time, and he's a goner. It was his own fault. They ruled it a suicide, but yeah.
I don't think they would actually label that a suicide, though.
Well, he used his own inator. He shot his own. He did it of his own accord. Suicide.
I think it'd be like more of an accidental one.
Yes, but they don't know that. Or it will be like a lengthy investigation because you think someone poisoned his food, or he was that stupid. He made very terrible food and then ate it. So, but then again, why would he enter the contest with something that rancid? So maybe suicide. No, you're right. It would be accidental, but you never know how these things pan out.
Yeah, fair.
Yep.
So yeah, so Doof ate rotten meatloaf and died.
Yep, I don't think anyone expected it. We're kind of around season finale time right now on the airwaves, and this would have been quite the. Not that this was a finale. I'm just saying, kind of, where we're at right now is like the unexpected ending. Doofenshmirtz dies of food poisoning.
This is pretty understated as far as Gritty reboots go.
And it was hate. Hate did it. Doofenshmirtz engineered the whole thing because he stole it from his brother, the favorite of his mother,
Who wants to cover in pigeon goo.
Yep. And it was his undoing. The Doofenshmirtz family. Was it Uncle Jose or
Grandpa Jose?
Grandpa Jose. He engineered it. This is a long time coming. And
remember the recipe did come from his great grandmother, Gretel Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah.
So anything she's
who
the
survived the witch. Hey, we don't know their last names.
Okay.
Hansel and Gretel, we don't know their last names.
I know.
She might be the original Gretel. Is it Greta or Gretel Doofenshmirtz?
Gretel.
There you go. Yeah, survive the witch.
Oh yeah, it's kind of funny considering
You
Dan
know why
eventually.
she survived?
Why did she survive?
She didn't eat the candy because she only liked meatloaf. That's how she survived.
It's kind of funny considering that Dan eventually created a show where the character is named Gretel.
Yeah.
So, kind of funny how things work
Well, we
out.
know what his favorite story growing up was.
Kids
Story that ended in horrific murder.
being eaten by a witch.
Well, no, the kids lit the witch on fire, Jacob.
Well, I mean, in some versions, I believe they actually do get eaten.
I don't know about that. I think they just put her in the oven.
All right.
I'm just saying, it's like letting me burn that witch alive.
I guess I'm thinking there might be different versions. I'm not, but for all I know.
It sounds like a murder by self-defense in a kid's story, you know? Just like, well, you know, he's going to get us, so we shoved her in the oven. Was it directly prompted? Well, no, but she was very clearly going to eat us. Maybe she was just lonely, Hansel?
Hansel?
Sorry, Hansel.
Oh, Hansel. I was like, no, there's like a, like I was referencing the old Bugs Bunny cartoon. Remember? It's like, oh, you got it wrong. It's Hansel.
Right.
And he's like, Hansel? Hansel? I swear there's a cartoon where that happens.
Okay.
Do you believe me?
Yes.
Okay. In the gritty reboot, the greatest of by Jacob pointing out a continuity error that they would shelve the reboot.
There you go.
And the true gritty reboot.
Yep. Just, you know, it'll go like this. Just Bob Meyer say, like, oh, I'm just gonna go about my day. I'm just gonna go watch some, see what the buzz is on Phineas and Ferb while we're working on the reboot. You know, we kind of get some good, some good buzz going, get some good, some good morale amongst the animators. I'll show them some stuff. I'll compile some footage, and he's horrified. Like, I thought he was a fan of ours. He was I know the conceit of this show, and he's deconstructing everything we're doing. He's calling us on it. Like, Swampy, Jeff, I can't do this, man. What do you mean? Like, I can't do this. He's looking at everything with a magnifying glass. We can't do this. Like, relax, Dan. It's just a little. We fudged the Stacy details. So what? It's like, so what? So what? We're coming back. We're X-Men 97ing this. If we screw up anything, we're doomed. I can't do this. I'm shelving it immediately. But Dan, these animators have families. They're depending on this. Like, not anymore. They'll have to jump ship and find something else. Not anymore. It's like, be reasonable. Nope, I hit the button. It's not happening. I hit the self-destruct button. Wait, self-destruct button. Should we be running? Yes. Immediately. Right now. Studio's going to blow up.
Oh, God.
Like, right now, we're already dead. We wasted too much time talking. And, Jacob, you've killed Dan and I hope you're happy. You killed them in a fiery explosion because they tried self-destructing the reboot. If we're lucky, they're maimed. You did all this.
Oh, if we're lucky.
Yep.
Okay.
If they're lucky, they're just maimed.
No, that's if they're lucky.
If they're lucky.
All right, then. I didn't mean to obliterate the chances of the reboot.
You did.
There's
a multiverse in which it's toppled over like the Titanic, my friend.
Well, it's a good thing that this one's a revival, not a continuation, not a reboot.
Yep.
Hey, I can use semantics.
Yes, you can.
All right.
And that's why the show's dead.
All right, back to the episode.
It's not like it's called Gritty Reboot Time.
Yes, it is. Anyway, back to the episode. Candace discovers that the winners of this year's Meatloaf contest is, in fact, Tiny Cowboy themselves.
Of course, Linda's like, well, they're not tiny or cowboys.
Mom, you're embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing me in front of them, Mom.
And if you notice, the members of Love Handle aren't exactly fat either, or composers of classical music, so she doesn't have much room to talk.
Well, they could have worked out, though.
I mean, fair. But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, platypus, platypeople. I know what you mean.
All right. So, the episode concludes with the two singing Meatloaf, singing about their love of meatloaf. And Doofenshmirtz recognizes them, and he seems to recognize every band that plays. Like, hey, is that Tiny Cowboy?
He's with the times. He gets it.
Yep, he understands it.
Now, mind you, again, we did establish. Okay, so he's not dead.
Yes. He's being given. Well, remember, he could have died after he's carried away by the paramedics.
You're right.
So it's not. Remember, it happened off screen, so it could have happened.
You're right.
So, for all we know, it could be a clone.
Yep. Next episode, Doofenshmirtz clone died of food poisoning.
Yes. All right. Anyway, I think that does it for this episode. What do you think?
I think so.
All right. Thank you, Code Geass, and we even had Little Blue briefly pop in, saying Candace Sasquatch. And a comment I wanted to highlight earlier, but forgot to, was Dragon's suspicion of Phineas as Candace's. So yeah, it's like except I don't think Candace thinks her brother is a psychopath. She wants to get him in trouble, but Dragon here seems to be on a mission to prove that Phineas is in fact a psychopath.
I just think it's funny that out of context he looks a little demented.
Well, you can pretty much take anything out of context and make it look like anything here.
Sure.
I mean, to be fair, Dragon, looking at this image we have here, like if we didn't watch the episode, would you be able to tell this is Candace?
Yeah.
You would?
Well, yeah.
How would you be able to tell?
Well, one, the hair color's the same.
All right, fair enough.
There's that. Clearly female, holding a cell phone.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
hey, don't hate me. Hate the designers for doing a good job.
Well, I can't hate them for doing a good job.
There you go. It's my point exactly.
Well, I'm just trying
Dan
to.
and Swampy, I will protect you from the mean, nerving shaped man.
Like, oh please! You're the one who keeps calling them out and other things. I think the lack of continuity from earlier episodes. So, if anything, I need to protect them from you.
And what a great job you're doing.
It's like, hey, you're the one who asked for this. Remember, you're the one who wants to say all these messages to Dan and Swampy.
Mm-hmm.
And I do prepare them for it. So I brace them. So I'm doing my diligence. All right, so I think that does it for this weekend. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the kind words, Code Geass.
Might be horribly inaccurate, but I appreciate the sentiment.
All right, and be sure to join us next week on the Recap-inator for two very different trips to the past. Good night, everybody.